So I think my first time with IXD, the IXDA organization was back in 2020. It was when I was pulled into this conference by a good friend of mine called Julie Blitzer. She was the co-chair of the Milan edition of this interaction conference. And it was a super eye-opening experience. I'm not sure how many you've been to, but it's a big thing, right? And I think back then also it was like really interesting for me to see all these interaction designers getting together. And my background is in marketing and communications, and because Julie knew that I was already in this field, she pulled me in to kind of like take care of the comms. Back then I had a co-director, and this time I don't have a co-director, and I was also pulled in a little bit last minute because of the pandemic.
So you're the director this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I was previously also like co-director. I had a partnering co-director for the Milan edition, but then with Zurich, I'm the only one, and I was like pulled in a little bit last minute because I think Zurich was supposed to happen probably last year, but because the pandemic was still was still very uncertain, then it became online. So it was Milan in 2020, and then it was online for 2 years, 21 and 22, and now it's like the first time we're back in person at Zurich, and happily enough for me, I'm like back here doing it. It's a bit complicated, just doing it. I think a lot of us who are in marketing communications, like we don't really expect to be doing conference work half of the time, but like it's also very exciting, very fulfilling, because like you tweet something or you post anything on the socials, or you write a blog post and people respond to you, because it's an entire community. And I'm not sure if a lot of interaction design conferences are like that, but I think the IXDA community is like a unique one. Everyone is like sincerely interested in each other. Sometimes you go to a conference and you'll see them. People are just looking out for the next contact and the next useful contact just to make a sale, or just to look for something. There's always something in it for them. Whereas here, I feel like the only people who are maybe like that, maybe the sponsors who are like just eager to hire people. But everyone here is just like, exchanging ideas, exchanging insight, catching up with old friends. And I think it's truly unique. I don't know if there's another conference like this. Like even like the biggest fun conference I can think of is like South by Southwest. And I don't think this is like that. I don't think that is like us. You know what I mean? So it's been very exciting. It's like very busy. So in the core team, I think there are about like, I would say about 9 to 12 of us in the core team, but each of us handle different things, right? We have like Sin, my colleague, who does like the program, but she also has help with some of, the IXDA Zurich members, like Daniel Boss. Obviously, we have our co-chairs, Carmen and Thomas has been a big support for us, just getting everyone together, and like he has a lot of contacts in Zurich, obviously. But really, it's a team effort, and within comms, there are some volunteers who are like helping out with the work. So it's really like a team effort, but it's still a lot of things to do. And I think a lot of people are also kind of like going in a little bit blind, because it's a conference and not everybody knows how a conference is run. And that's where Brenda Sanderson, executive director of IXDA, really comes in, because she has all this knowledge from running this for like 10 years. So it switches teams each year. So after Zurich, there will be another team, another local chapter will win there's this like usual call, right, for local chapters to lead to host the next one. And so IXD 24, it will be a new team. And then Brenda Sanderson will just have to do it all over again. And she has all these learnings that she constantly imparts to the next team. So that's really cool. And for me, just having, getting to work with Brenda a second time, it just makes me see all the things that she has to put up with. So the role is like communications director, but like I guess all the things that I handle for the conferences, it falls under a lot of the marketing activities kind of thing. So it's a lot of just figuring out what we want in our content calendar, and getting people to notice the program and what our team has carefully planned for everyone. So it's a lot of just finding the right people who are able to contribute. Like I said, it's a very warm community, is very active, so a lot of people are happy to just put in the time, write articles and stuff. So it's beyond planning articles, I guess. It's also just about understanding what's important for you
So
in different
when did you actually
periods.
start for this event? This event is
For
happening now, so-
Zurich,
Yeah.
I was roped in December.
Oh.
So it's like like a lot of things needed to be done because because Zurich was supposed to happen in I think 2022, and so maybe the original team that was supposed to run this one was like they probably kept changing because people's plans change over time. So it was quite a whirlwind, and when I came in, I was there were a lot of things that needed to be done, right? But luckily, I've done it in the Milan edition, so I kind of was just going through the emotions again. And obviously this time with the things I learned in the past conference, it was really nice to just kind of get a slight do-over, but it's really fun. And for me to come to Zurich, I've never been to Zurich before, and I think for me, I think what we're always concerned with conference is getting to the community and making sure they see us, and I think that is also kind of like a natural reaction when the community is so active. But I think what we could do maybe the next time is possibly just try to look outside the people who already know IXDA, because one thing I've noticed just hanging out with some people and getting to talk to some of our speakers is that there are a lot of interaction designers who still don't know about IXDA. And so I think if I were to do it again, I think I would also try to just do more of a community reach out to a larger group of people, because I think anybody who's an interaction designer would be super enthusiastic to find that this community exists. There was an article that Brenda wrote recently, and she said that it's essentially this community is founded based on the idea, the notion of home. And I think a lot of the interaction designers who come to IXD Conf every year, they kind of come because it's kind of like coming home to see your family again, and just to check out how they're doing and find out what they've learned in the last year, So I think that is something that we could definitely do, reach out to bigger groups of people, instead of just talking to the people who already know us, just get the message out. Yeah, I think we had a couple of moments where we thought, oh my gosh, are we gonna make it? But it turned out all right in the end. I think Brenda was also there to kind of assuage our fears and say, no, it's gonna be okay in the end. And a lot of us didn't believe her, but she has the experience of 10 years, and we found out in the end it was okay. But similar to Milan as well, because we were panicking all the way until the end, and then when it finally came, we all could finally relax. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
It's really
Thank
insightful.
you.
Thanks.
Thanks.